this is Tomlin from Tomlin Harmonica Lessons, and first of all I want to wish you a very happy, or should I say harpy, new year. So this is the first lesson of 2018. I hope you've all had a good break over the festive period and are raring to go. So today's lesson is going to be a big strategy one, because this is the perfect time of year to make your New Year's harmonica resolutions. Okay, so you need to be asking yourselves, what do you want to achieve this year on the instrument? And this is a really important question to ask yourselves, because what we tend to say is, I want to get better, I want to be really good, or things like that. And that doesn't really help you, because it's not a solid, tangible goal. So the kind of ideas that I would suggest thinking about are maybe sitting in at your first blues jam session, or learning a whole song from start to finish, or maybe learning how to play in third position, or being able to bend all of the draw notes between holes 1 and 6. These are just some ideas for what good goals are for your harmonica playing. And these can be very personal goals. We all learn at different speeds. We're all at different stages on our journeys to becoming great harmonica players. So whatever is appropriate for you, that should be your goal. It might be, that you're early on in your playing career and your goal is to play consistently clean notes. Okay? So work out what you want to achieve this year. What's the one thing that you're going to feel great about if you get to the end of 2018 and think, yes, I have nailed that aspect and I know that I've made positive progression on the instrument. So, step 1, what do you want to achieve? Step 2, this one's really important. Work out what the necessary steps are. So, you probably have quite a big goal in mind, and that's very overwhelming, and it's very difficult to achieve a big goal without knowing what the steps are to kind of get you there along the way. So I'm going to take this example of sitting in at a blues jam session. So the steps that I would suggest that you need to complete, the mini goals that you need to achieve before you can sit in at a jam session are: learn the 12-bar blues structure. That would be step 1. Then step 2 would be understanding how the 12-bar blues structure relates to the harmonica. Then the next step would be starting to improvise using just the root notes. Then you're going to learn the blues scale. Then you're going to start using that blues scale to spice up your root note improvisation. Then you probably want to have a little bit of a lick vocabulary, so maybe learning 3 cool blues licks would be the next step. And then if you're playing with other musicians, which is what you're going to be doing at a jam session, you need to understand a little bit of music theory about keys. You need to understand what key the band's going to be playing in and what that means for you as a harmonica player. And the next step is going to be practicing with a microphone, because most jam sessions are going to be electric and amplified. So that's your next step. And then your final step is going to be finding a jam session and talking to the organizer and finding out what you have to do in order to be able to sit down and play there. So here we've got a whole bunch of small achievable steps to get you to that big goal of sitting in at a blues jam session. And you can make these small steps for whatever your big goal is. And every time you knock one out of the park, just tick it off and say, right, I have completed that step. I can move on to the next thing. And that'll give you some real sense of achievement. It'll make you feel very positive about harmonica, and you're not going to get that feeling of, oh, I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve, I'm going to give up. Because that's what we tend to do if we don't break it down into manageable chunks. So work out what those necessary steps are. I've actually put together a worksheet where you can write down your big goal at the top and then work out what the steps are that lead you to that big goal, and then tick them off as you complete them. So that was your second step. Your third step, which is absolutely essential, is committing to a regular and realistic practice schedule. So it's New Year. What we tend to do is we tend to say, yeah, I'm going to do 3 hours of practice every single day. It's going to be great. I'm going to get awesome. And if you did manage to do 3 hours of practice every day, you probably would get awesome very quickly. but it's not realistic. Life gets in the way. It's going to be very demoralizing if after a week you can't fulfill your practice routine that you've set yourself. So what you need to do is create something that is manageable. It could be 5 minutes a day. It could be 10 minutes a day. It could be 20 minutes every 2 days. Pick something that you know you can do without difficulty. And then if you end up practicing a little bit more, that's great. It's a bonus. But you don't have that kind of negative self-talk of, oh, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I'm a complete failure, because your goal was too unrealistic. And when it comes to practice, there's something that I have to emphasize time and time and again. It's much better to do regular small chunks of practice throughout the week rather than doing one big practice session at the end of the week. Part of the reason for this is that sleep is an essential part of your practice. You consolidate everything that you've been doing that day so that you're ready for the next practice session. And if you're only doing that once a week, you're missing out on that power of sleep multiplying and pushing you forward in your practice. So to help you with that, I've put together another download for you, which is going to be your weekly practice sheet. So you write down what you're going to be working on that week, and then under each day, you're going to write down how many minutes you managed to practice. And that'll help you kind of stay on track with what you want to do and how often you need to be practicing. So, New Year's harmonica resolutions. We have 3 important steps. First step, what you want to achieve on the instrument. What's your big goal? Make it something tangible and realistic. The second step is working out what the steps are that you need to complete in order to achieve that big goal. What are the micro skills necessary? And then finally, your third step is committing to a regular and realistic practice routine. So, to help you with that, you can download the 2 worksheets that I used in the video by clicking on the link in the description below. I also have a suggestion to help you feel a little bit accountable. Maybe write what your New Year's harmonica resolution is in the comment section below. And don't worry if it's something very small or if it's something very big, it doesn't matter. This is personal to you, and we're going to help you get there. We're going to be supportive. This is a great community we've got going. No one's going to shoot you down because you have a small goal. It's not what it's about. It's what's good for you and what you want to achieve this year. And yeah, before you run away and click on those links and stuff, if you've enjoyed this lesson, please give me a thumbs up by hitting on the like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do so, because I put out a new harmonica lesson every Wednesday, apart from the last few weeks because I was away on Christmas break. And yeah, I'll see you next week for some more harmonica. Happy harping!